If my face is a tiny bit red, I'm sorry, but I just got home from university and I thought that I would make an intro for this vlog. Since October is coming to an end, I realized that I haven't read nearly as many spooky reads, like witchy Halloween books, as I wanted. So I thought that it would be fun to do a video where I finish series that I'm in the middle of, but make it spooky edition. So I have... Well, the first series that I really want to finish is The Assistant to the Villain series by Hannah Nicole Maher. I don't know how you pronounce that. I read the first book like a week ago. I listened to the audiobook of it, and because it ends on a cliffhanger, I really want to read the second book so that I don't forget what happened in the first one. So the second book is Apprentice to the Villain, and I don't really know what it's about. So that's the first series. The second series is the Vampire series by Jenna Levine. The first book is My Roommate is a Vampire. I really love that book. I think that it's so funny for the season, and if you don't want something crazy like serious or scary, I guess, kind of something that doesn't have any high stakes, this is a great read for that. And the second book is My Vampire Plus One. I think that this is going to be even funnier, which I really hope that I'm not wrong about that, but I do have high expectations for this one because I really liked the first one. And the main character of the second book is so funny, so I'm thinking that since he's funny, obviously the book is also going to be really funny. So that's the second series, and the third series is the Charming series by Sarah Blue. I read the first two books in this. I think that it's a trilogy. The first book is Charming Your Dad, the second book is Charming the Devil, and the third book is Charming as Hell. I haven't read the third book, and I don't know why. I didn't care about the characters that much, so I just never picked it up. Even though I really liked the first two books, I think that they're so good and nobody talks about them. I haven't seen a single soul talking about those books. But yeah, I really want to finish the series because I'm just curious, and also it's one book, it's a trilogy, it's a finished series, so it will be nice to just read that book and have this series done. So yeah, those are the spooky series that I'm going to finish in this video. There's definitely, well, I don't know. Do I have more series that I'm in the middle of? I don't know if these are the only spooky series that I'm in the middle of. I must have more. But yeah, I'm gonna finish them in this video, and I'm actually really excited about them. And I'm hoping that I'm gonna have a really fun time. I just filmed like a sit down video. I was like, okay, since I'm wearing makeup, let me just update you. Obviously, as soon as I finished that video, my hair was up in a bun. I started Apprentice to the Villain, and I will be honest, at first I was like, what is happening? I did not understand anything. I think now I'm like 60% through the book, and I think that it's fun. I prefer it over the first book. I don't know if that is because I am more attached to the characters, I guess, or if it's just the writing and the plot. It's a lot more fantasy heavy, the second book, than the first one, which is not amazing, and there are some things that I'm kind of like, what is happening? Well, I don't really understand exactly what's going on, but okay. And I do think that plot wise, I guess, it is kind of all over the place a tiny bit, but at the same time, I think that the first one was also kind of all over the place. So I think that if you like the first book, you're probably going to like the second one too. It's just, I'm not loving it because I'm not used to the fantasy aspect of it, but it's not anything crazy. So I still understand it, but it's not like reading a contemporary romance, for example. So far I'm liking it. Not loving it. I'm thinking around 3 stars, but it's entertaining. I am actually listening to the audiobook of it, and that's definitely helping a lot. I feel like we don't need a trilogy. That's like my only issue, because there is going to be a third book, and I didn't think that we needed a second book. I feel like we could have wrapped it up in the first book, but okay, sure, make it a duology, but why do we need the third book? I feel like the second book could wrap up everything and be done with it. So I'm kind of curious to see what the third book is going to be about. I'm guessing that we're going to figure it out by the end of the second book. I'm thinking maybe the third book is going to focus more on the romance side of it, because so far none of the books have really focused on that. So if you're going only for the romance, don't read these books. Just, if you're going for the vibes, yeah, okay, pick them up. But if you're going just for the romance, pick something else, because the romance is not that heavy. I would say this book is definitely heavier than it was in the first book, which makes sense because basically the romance is very slow burn. So I'm guessing the third book is going to be even more on the romance side. I'm hoping that it's going to be only a trilogy. If there's 4 books, why? So I'm hoping that it's going to be at least like only a trilogy, and I guess that's going to be fine. But if the author announces a fourth book, I don't know if I'm going to finish the series basically. So yeah, that's my update for now. I am probably going to finish it in the next couple of hours, I'm thinking. I think the audiobook says that I have 2.5 hours left, so I'm definitely going to finish it today. And then I don't know what book I'm going to pick up. I low-key want to leave my Vampire Plus one for last, you know, leave the best for last. I'm not sure, we'll see. It's the next day, and I know I said I would finish the book yesterday. I know. Obviously that did not happen because, well, I don't have a reason. I just got distracted. I don't know what I was doing. Watching YouTube videos probably. So yeah, I'm trying to catch up because I didn't watch any YouTube videos for like 5 days and I had so many videos to watch. So I have been catching up on those, and I finally finished the book Apprentice to the Villain. Okay, yes, I was distracted, but I will say the fact that this book is not that great in my opinion did not really help. I think that I already said this, but I don't see why we need more than 2 books. I think that this could have been a duology and it would have been perfectly fine. And also something else, I don't think that I'm a cliffhanger kind of person. I hate not knowing what is happening. I want the story to be wrapped up. And I think that that's why interconnected standalones work so well for me, because you get different plots, different stories, but it's just the first book is wrapped up, then you go into the second book, that whole story gets wrapped up, and then you go into the next ones. So you don't read the first book, then you finish it and you're left with so many questions, so you want to read the second book. And something about that doesn't really work well with me. And also it doesn't help that I really want the third book right now because I'm curious. I guess that's the whole point of doing a cliffhanger. So I guess it works. I just don't like it because I don't know when the third book is coming out. Apprentice to the Villain came out this year, I think. Oh no, so that means that the next book is going to come next year? Oh no. No. Oh no. It's going to come out September 25th, 2025. In a year, basically. That's so long. Wait, I hate that. I hate that because I don't have that much of a great memory when it comes to books because I read so many, so it's kind of hard for me to actually remember everything that happens in a book. So now I'm thinking that I will forget what happened in the first 2 books. I don't know. Although I did like the second book more, I think I'm gonna give it 3 stars, which is not that great, but it's a decent rating, I guess. And I think that the writing is definitely better than the first one, which I feel like makes sense since the first one was this author's first book, I think. So it makes sense that this one is better, and I'm kind of excited about the third one. I definitely want to read it, and I'm hoping that it's a trilogy, so the third one is going to be the last one. If there's a fourth one, I'm gonna get annoyed because I feel like we are dragging out this whole thing. At some points it felt a bit repetitive and kind of like dragged out, I guess. That's it. I will say the last 20% of the book was definitely a lot better than the first 80% of the book, so that's something. But yeah, I liked it. It was fun. It's nothing that I will keep thinking about. I am going to read the third book because I am curious about it, but I'm not going to be thinking about the characters ever, probably. So that's one series done. I don't know what I'm gonna read next. Should I go into Charming as Hell or should I go into my Vampire Plus one? I want to do my nails today because they're really just not pretty, and I kind of want to do my nails for fall. I think that is going to be really nice, and for that it would help if I had an audiobook, and I have only Charming as Hell as an audiobook, so I'm thinking that I'm gonna go with that one and leave my Vampire Plus one for last. It's also Charming as Hell is definitely a shorter audiobook than this one, so again, being probably very delusional, I feel like I could finish it today. I keep saying that, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna finish it today. It never happens, you know? It never happens. If I do actually sit down and do my nails, I think that I will finish it, but if I end up not doing my nails, I might not finish it. Okay, I'm sorry. I know I look crazy but I had to give you an update. I'm currently doing my nails and I am on chapter 9 of the book. And guys, I think that this is a reverse harem, which I did not know. I thought that it would be about our female main character and then one male character. But so far we have 2 male characters and a potential third. Something about the writing, it just doesn't feel good. And I'm low-key questioning my feelings for the other books because this is looking like a 2-star. The amount of times that I'm laughing out loud because it's ridiculous. The good thing is that I'm listening to it at like 2.5 times speed. At least it's not gonna take me that long, but like, what is happening? Our female main character, so far her only goal is to have spice, I guess. Other than that, she doesn't have any other goals. At the same time, I was expecting something so different, and now I'm like, what is happening? I am like 110 pages in and I don't think that there's a plot. I think that it's just spice. I don't know if something else is going to happen, but so far nothing is happening. I don't see the plot. So is the whole book just her trying to find multiple partners? So far I'm confused. I don't know what's going on. I am confused about the point of this book. And I definitely had it very, very differently in my mind, which is not helping at all.
He rode in on a horse named Trigger from a town just east of the Mississippi.
I finished the book and I don't know how I feel about it. I'm second guessing all of my life choices. Okay, I'm kidding. But I am second guessing the rating that I gave the first 2 books because this was weird. It is a reverse harem, so that's that. I don't think that I'm a fan of that. I haven't read that many books with it, but I didn't love it. But I think it was more so not the fact that, oh, a bunch of guys and one girl. That was not an issue. My issue was the fact that I didn't feel like she had a genuine connection with any of the characters. And also there wasn't any tension. I guess you could say that there was some tension with one character, but at the same time we don't really see her spending so much time with him, like having a bunch of interactions, so you cannot really see the tension. I don't know. I think that it was just spicy because it was a lot of spice. It had so much spice. I was overwhelmed, and I don't have an issue with spice. I like spice in books, but I wanted to have a purpose and not just be there for the sake of being there. And this just felt spicy for no reason. If you're looking for that, then sure, go ahead. But it wasn't for me. I think that this is the last book in the series. Will there be more? I feel like this book came out a year ago, but I might be wrong. Yes, this came out October 6th, 2023. So I'm thinking that if there was going to be a 4th book, then we would have seen it. But at the same time, something happens at the end of the book. Obviously, I'm not gonna say what happens. That makes me believe that there's going to be a next book. So I don't know if there's going to be a next series that's going to be around the same thing, like a companion series, like the same universe or something. I don't know if there was supposed to be another book, but it didn't happen, or if it's just going to be a trilogy. I'm hoping that it's going to be a trilogy because I don't know if I'm gonna read a 4th book. I don't know if the first 2 books were also like this, but if I remember correctly, I feel like they had some plot going on. Maybe not the best, but they had some going on. I guess this one had some sort of plot going on, but didn't feel full-fledged, I guess. Just felt just there for the sake of being there, kind of for the sake of being able to say that this book has a plot, even though it's mostly spice. I don't know if that makes any sense, but yeah, I'm happy that I'm done with that book. I think I'm gonna give it 2 stars, which is not great, but it is what it is. Oh, also, I didn't show you my nails. I did them. I had a design in mind that I was planning on doing, but that didn't work out, so I just did them this dark kind of burgundy red. They're not perfect, but I haven't done my nails in so long. I want to say probably 2 years, so I'm happy with them, even though they're not perfect. But I feel like for my first set after 2 years, they're pretty good. Oh, and also my hair, also very different. I don't have that thing on my head anymore. I'm just trying that out because I tried it when I first got it, I want to say 6 months ago, and I didn't really like it. It didn't work for me. I don't know what I did wrong. Oh no, I didn't sleep with it because it wasn't comfortable for me to sleep in for some reason. But yesterday I slept with it and I didn't have any problems, so I don't know what I did wrong then or if I just sleep different. I honestly like it. It's definitely a tiny bit too curly, but at the same time it's definitely going to fall. I literally took it out 5 minutes ago, so it hasn't had time to just fall a bit. Literally nobody asked. So now I'm gonna move on to my Vampire Plus One. I actually started it. I literally read the first chapter, which is not a lot. Oh my gosh, look at my nails with the Kindle case. I didn't plan on it, but because they're burgundy, it's such a full color and I love it. I really like the color that I chose. Yeah, what was I saying? Oh, I started my Vampire Plus One. I read literally the first chapter of it and then I remember that I need to send in a paper that I have that is due for tonight. So yeah, I stopped reading and I did that. The good thing is that it was mostly done. I just had to tweak some last minute things and it was ready. But now that I have done that, I'm going to continue reading and I'm hoping that I'm gonna have better luck because so far I have read 2 books for this video. One of them was a 2.5, I think, 2.75, something like that. And the other one was a 2 star. So it's not looking great. I'm having high hopes for this one. And by that, I literally mean that I'm hoping that this is going to be at least 3 stars. I'm hoping that it's going to be even better than that, but I don't know. I don't have any opinions yet. Our 2 main characters haven't even met yet, so yeah, I literally don't have any opinions about it. But yeah, I guess the writing seems like the normal writing that I am used to from the first book, so that's something. I'm actually very happy that I kept this book as my last read for this video, and I'm hoping that I'm actually going to like it. Fingers crossed, because so far 2 out of the 2 books that I have read have been bad. Oh, and also something else. The Assassin to the Villain series is actually fantasy. I looked it up yesterday because I was like, there's no way that this is considered just a regular romance with like some paranormal aspects. It says that it's fantasy, and that's why I was like, this feels very fantasy heavy, and that is because it is fantasy. But if you read fantasy, it's not high fantasy. Now that I know that it's actually fantasy, I wouldn't say that it's high fantasy. I would say that it's pretty easy to understand. It's just I was going into it thinking that it was going to be like a paranormal romance of some sort. So yeah, that's that. I am going to keep reading my Vampire Plus One, and I don't know when I'm going to update you. I really like this. Wait, I didn't expect to like it. At first I thought that I wouldn't like it. I don't know why. Well, I guess at first I thought that I would like it, but then as I started reading the book and being like 30% through the book, I was like, I don't know how I feel about this, but now it's so good. It's really good. It's exactly what I was expecting after reading the first book, and I'm so happy about it. I'm genuinely so happy about it. It's giving me exactly the same feelings as the first book, and I think I prefer this one. This book is about Reggie, who is the character that we meet on the first book, and about Amelia. So Reggie is a vampire, Amelia is a human, and somehow they end up fake dating, and I think that it's done so well. I was not expecting it to be done so well, and I also really like how we find out things about the characters from the first book, because Reggie is best friends with Freddie from the first book, so it's so nice, and this is definitely one of my favorite books that I have read for Halloween, and I'm so happy about it. I wish that Jenna Levine, I think is the author, wrote more books, because right now the only books that this author has is this duology, I guess, which are both about vampires, and I love that, but I wish that we had more contemporary romances, for example. They don't have to be paranormal. I think that it would be so good. I love the writing. It's so easy. I feel like I said the same things about the first book, but it genuinely feels like a perfect rom-com. There are some things that make it a tiny bit ridiculous, but in a funny way, like in a good way, not in a bad way, I guess. But at the same time, you root for the characters and you get attached to them. I don't know, I'm having so much fun. I'm 56% through the book. It says that I have 3 hours and 20 minutes left, which is honestly a lot. I don't know if I'm going to finish it. Probably not, because it's 10:30. I'm going to wake up very early tomorrow because I have university. So I'm not going to finish it tonight, which is so sad. I really want to keep reading. I have been reading it for like the past 3 hours. I have been binging it. So I'm kind of sad that I will not be able to finish it, because I will definitely not have time to read tomorrow morning. So that means that I will have to wait until the afternoon in order to read this book and finish it. I have been trying to find a book that makes me want to keep reading and makes me understand why I love reading. And the minute that I find it, I cannot binge it. Okay, apparently there's going to be a third book in the series, and it's going to be named Road Trip with a Vampire. It will be about a character that we have briefly met and a new vampire that we haven't met, I guess. And it will be the third and final book in this series, so there's not going to be another one. So I guess that's nice. At least we will get another book in this universe. I'm curious to see what characters are going to be in the third book. So yeah, in case you were wondering, there's going to be a third book. I'm going to keep reading, and hopefully I'm not going to stay up way too late in order to read more. Although I cannot promise anything, but I'm gonna do my best. I have a feeling that the last clip that I filmed was also from this exact spot. But we're just going to ignore that. It's the next day. It's actually a lot later in the day. It's like 8 p.m. And I'm now going to keep reading. I actually read a couple. I think I read like 2 chapters this morning. I woke up and the only thing that I wanted to do was to just read this book. Right now I am 68% through the book. I am in the middle of a chapter actually. I'm on page 260. I got back 3 hours ago and I took a nap for an hour, which is really good because today I have not had the best of luck. This morning while I was, rushing to leave the house, when you hit like your toes on like a corner? Yeah, that's what happened to me, and I was in so much pain afterwards. Like for some reason it took it a couple of hours to kick in. Like I felt pain at that moment, and then for like 4 hours I was fine, and then it started hurting so much. So driving was not that fun. There was so much traffic. It was crazy. I have not seen that before. I don't know what was happening, but there was so much traffic. Thank God I didn't get that much stuck in it. But yeah, so I came home and I was extremely tired. I was in pain and I took a nap. So yeah, now I'm still in pain, but at least I'm not that tired, I guess. I want to continue reading. I am liking it so much. I think that I'm preferring this over the first book, which is my light died, but surprisingly enough, there's still some battery left. I need to charge it, so I'm gonna try and make... We're going to use my phone's flashlight. It looks like I'm about to tell you a scary story. I definitely prefer this one over the first one. This is so far better than the first one. I really like the characters. I think that it's so funny. Our female main character in the first book, I just could not relate to her that much. With this female main character, I can relate to. So I do prefer these characters over the first ones. I'm going to continue reading. I have 30% left of the book. I have 2.5 hours, so I'm thinking that I'm gonna finish it tonight.
Give me butterflies when you smile, and it feels so good. I just can't hide. I wanna hold your hand, but I get too shy. Just me and you. What should I do? I used to be so quiet, like a flower on your wall, and everything around you made me feel like I was small. But then you said my name. Now it feels so strange.
Good morning. I finished the book last night. I think I'm going to give it 4.25. I really like it. I do think the last 15% was kind of not my favorite, but I still really liked it and I cannot wait for the next book. I'm going to give it 4.25. The first book was 4 stars, so obviously I like this one better. But yeah, that brings us to the end of this video. I read 3 books in this video. I finished 3 series, obviously. Actually, I didn't finish them. I continued them, I guess. Because the first book that I read was Apprentice to the Villain, which is the second book in the Assistant to the Villain series by Hannah Nicole Maher, and there's going to be at least a third one. I don't know if there's going to be more than 3, but there's going to be a third one, so I'm up to date with that series. Then I have Charming as Hell, which is the third book in the Charming series. I'm pretty sure that this is the last one. It came out a year ago and there's nothing about a fourth book announced, so I'm thinking that this is going to be the last one. So I finished that series, and then we have My Vampire Plus One by Jenna Levine, which is My Vampires, the second book in that series. And there's going to be a third book in that series. It's going to be a trilogy. So I'm up to date with that series, and I had a lot of fun, especially with the last book. The first two weren't that great, but the last book was so good. I literally binged it in 2 days. It was refreshing, it was funny, but it was so cute, so adorable, and I loved it. It was so fun. I highly recommend this series. If you're looking for very spooky books where it's creepy, I guess, I wouldn't say that this is that, but if you're looking for something that is a tiny bit spooky, but at the same time it's really fun and it's more so a rom-com, I would highly recommend the series. The Charming series, I liked the first 2 books. The third one was not it for me, so I'm second guessing my feelings about the first 2. Like, I didn't love them. I gave them 3 stars, around 3 stars both, but the third one was not it. The first 2 at least had some sort of plot. The third one didn't have any plot, so didn't love that. And Apprentice to the Villain was pretty good, I would say. I think I prefer it over Assistant to the Villain, but I still don't understand why that series needs to be 3 books. I feel like it could have been a duology and it would have been fine. I'm definitely going to continue doing videos like this because it's really nice finishing series, and I have so many series that I'm in the middle of. I could probably even finish them because the whole series is done, like it's published, that's it, but I have not picked it up yet. So yeah, I'm going to definitely do more of these videos. That's all I have to say. I hope that you like this video, and I hope that I'll see you in my next one. Bye!
You give me butterflies when you smile, and it feels so good.